In today's video, I have 6 steps that we're going to go through to learn this funky slap bass groove. This video is a little bit of a continuation on my modes video because I am using Mixolydian and minor scale to get this groove done. Here's what the backing track sounds like. Got a C dominant 7, a D minor 7. First step, we're gonna slap, thumbs up, rotate, use those twisty muscles. We're gonna slap the A string for the C. The rhythm we're gonna start with 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and rest, 3 rest. Now with the D, let's practice this rhythm with the backing track. 1, 2, here we go. C. 1, 2, ready. Now D. Back to C. One more time. C. We're just getting warmed up here. We're just getting started. Let me do a quick review of how to slap. You want to rotate, right? You don't want to do too much in and out like this. And it's not as much of a going up and down as it is your thumb rotating out. We also want to keep these notes pretty staccato, meaning short and separated, which would be like this. You can see here between every note, I'm doing a lot of muting with my left hand. I need a slightly longer headphone cable. It's driving me nuts. Oh, there we go. That should help. 1 and 3. Now D, back to C. Really make sure if you're practicing this, you're getting those notes nice and short. One and 3. 1 and 3. One more time with the backing track. And 1, 2, ready, and D. 1 and 3, 1 and 3. Just like all my videos where I have these progression of starting easy and then getting harder and harder and harder as we go, take as much time as you need on each step. Don't feel like you have to move on just because the video keeps going. You can hit that pause button, practice, go back and play along a few times. It may even take you a whole week. Just if you're really new to slap bass, that could be that alone. There's a lot going on here between the muting, getting that right hand motion going, and getting a good clean sound. And that's something I get a lot of comments on, is people who are struggling to get that sound. If it seems like you're doing everything right, come up here to the 12th fret and see how much space there is between your string and the fretboard. Just eyeballing it, if it looks like it's more than like 1/4 of an inch, you might need to think about either adjusting it or getting it adjusted. Action plays a crucial part in being able to play slap bass. Also the strings, if you have really old strings and they're kind of dead, that makes it really hard to get that nice clear slap tone. If you have flat wounds, hard to get that classic slap sound. As long as you have the right strings, a decent setup, you should be able to get pretty good slap bass sound just about anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Pickup type and the location, that'll give you some variation. Mine has active pickups, and I usually have it somewhere in the middle and just past for doing these videos. If you're finding anything in this video helpful at all, I encourage you to please like, comment, and most of all, subscribe so that I can continue making these and you can continue watching them and seeing them. Step 2, we're going to take that same rhythm and we're going to add a note in between the eighth notes and the quarter note. We're going to put a note right in the middle. 1 and 2, 3. The other way you can kind of think about it, instead of this 1 and E 3, is that we're doing an eighth note and then a dotted eighth, quarter. One and a 2 E and a 3. 1 and a 2 E and a 3. If this is really challenging for you to get that timing down, make sure you try counting along. 1 and 2 E 3. 1 and 2 E 3. 1 and 2 E 3. Notice I'm saying beat 2 out loud, but I'm not playing it. I'm just really enunciating that placeholder. 1 and 2 E 3. So that way, when I'm playing it, even without counting out loud, I'm still internally feeling that. Let's try it on D now. Same thing. Now let's try it with the beat. One and E 3. 1 and E 3. 1 and E 3. 1 and E 3. What you really want to strive for is to have your 16th note subdivisions precise and even. I'm even doing my muting. I'm trying to get my muting exactly a 16th note after I hit the note. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. One more time with the beat. 1, 2, 3, and. Now that we've gotten through these first 2 steps, as the video goes on, it's going to get harder and harder. And if you're still really struggling on these 2, take a break. And I encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, find some other videos. I have a lot of shorts and some more like slap-based basics that would be a little more beginner-friendly than where we're headed right now, because we're getting into some pretty rough waters, so to speak. Because step 3, we're going to take that same rhythm and we're going to add some dead notes. It's going to be like this. 1 and E. Basically, we're taking that 16th note before the 2 notes and doing a muted slap. 1 and 2 E a 3. Which, if you did the last one properly, you should already be feeling at least that beat 2. Now you can actually hit the note, just a dead note. 1 and a 2 E and a 3. Real slow. 1 and 2 E a 3. Slap, slap, mute, slap, mute, slap. Do it on the D now. One thing to help you get a good muted sound is make sure your fingers are spread out a little bit. If you just have one, you get those harmonics ringing through. Which in this case, we just want that nice dead percussive effect. Let's just practice going back and forth a little bit between C and D. 1 and 2 E a 3. 1 and 2 E a 3. Now to D. Back to C. up to D. 4, 1 and 2 E, a 3. 1 and 2 E, a 3. 4, 1 and 2 E, a 3. Here we go with the backing. 1, 2, ready, and. Well, that was silly. Quick note about getting these up to tempo. One thing you can try starting with is just muting all the notes. 1 and 2 E, a 3. Start slow. 1 and 2 E, a 3. Really helps to be focusing on that rotation for these. Because if you're trying to do this, it's a lot harder to get that speed than if you're really focused on that wrist movement. One more time with the track. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. I added some notes in there. Those are coming up. Step number 3 is complete. If you still don't have it, just pause the video and keep working on it before, like I said, before you move on. Make sure you get the last one down. So number 4. Now we add in a hammer-on. We take what we did so far. We add a hammer-on after beat 4. So it'll be like this. 1 and 2 E, a 3. And a 1 and 2 E, a 3. We actually kind of want to think about it as if the hammer-on is part of the next measure. It's like a pickup into the next measure. So anytime we're leading into the D, we're going to use the notes A, C, and then land on the D. So we're going to slap the 5th fret, hammer on the 8th, the D. This might be tricky for some of you. If you're not used to keeping these fingers spread out, now's the time to start working on getting them spread out all the time. You gotta do a little pinky exercise. The key to getting this hammer-on down is gonna be planting that first finger as close to that 5th fret as you can get and still get a good sound. You don't want to go over it, because then you'll, right? Find that sweet spot right next to the fret, and then practice getting that hand position with that pinky all the way out. Now, if you're the type of person that always plays with your thumb hooked over, you are not going to get that spread. I can almost promise you. You want to have your thumb in the back, pointed up toward the headstock. It's okay to have your thumb creep up there sometimes, but just know that if that's like your permanent position for playing, it's going to hold you back in the long run. Especially if you're trying to do these stretches like this. It's almost impossible unless your fingers are really long, which mine aren't. Can't physically have my thumb up there and get that stretch. It's got to be down. So anyway, that's our lead in to the D minor. For the C, it's a little bit easier. It's a lot easier. It goes G, A, C. Slapping the G, hammer onto the A. Now for this, you can either use your pinky or your 3rd finger. So slap, hammer on, slap. One and 2 and up the end. That's not. I got myself doing the wrong rhythm now. And a 1 and 2 E, a 3. Let's just practice it on the C a little bit. So we're gonna do 1 and 2 E, a 3, and a 1 and 2 E, a 3. You may need to practice just going a few times, because it's gonna be, you gotta think about slapping the E string and then the A string, and you gotta think about your left hand. A little bit faster now, it'll be like this. 1, 2, ready. 4 and a 1 and 2 E a 3 and a 1 and 2 E a 3. Now here's what it goes to the D. Back to C. Here's what it sounds like with the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's number 5. This one's taking that same pattern, but we're adding a muted slap pop before the hammer on. So remember how it comes in on the 4 and a 4 and a 1. Now we're gonna do 4E slap pop. A muted slap on the A string and a muted pop on the G string. 1 E and a. So you're doing a slap, pop, slap. There's the first thing to work on. You do the muted slap, muted pop, slap the G down here on the E string. We're also going to do the same exercise on the D. 4 E and. The next step is adding the hammer on in. Slap, pop, slap, hammer on. So let's try back to the C here. Slap, pop, slap, hammer on, slap. 1, 2, 3, 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4 E and a 1. Here's the C1 all together. While you're doing that muted slap pop, slide up. You're going from the 3rd fret position and sliding up to the 5th fret position. You pretty much do it while you're doing the muted slap pop. Here it is. Here's what we have so far with the backing track. Ready? So as I was saying, how when you're doing the slap pop from the 3rd position up to the 5th position, you're doing a slap pop while you move to get to that pick up into the D. The same thing goes for when you're moving back to the 3rd position to get the pick up into the C. This brings me to my final step, step 6. Step 6 is going to turn this into a 2-measure phrase. Starts off the same, But now our pickup notes into the next chord are going to be different. We're going to add new ones. We're going to do for the D. So we have F on the 8th fret of the D string, and then doing the octave, 10th fret of the G, going down a half step to E, and then landing on D. Slap, pop, slap, pop, slap, 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 slap. And then to get to the C, we're going to do an A on the E string, 5th fret, pop the octave, 7th fret of the D, move up a half step to the B flat, 6th fret of the E, 8th fret of the D string, and then go back down to the C. So if you got everything else down that we did so far, all you really need to do is practice these transitions. So here's all of what we have so far with the backing track. Ready? And... if you're fairly new to the bass in general, or even if you're new to slap bass, this trying to get all of these steps down is gonna be pretty tricky for you. Even if it takes you like a month of working on the first step to get a good clean, that's fine. You know, take all the time you need because it's a lifelong journey. That is it for this video. I will see you next time.